channel. Tighten that up a bit. Doing this on a GoPro because I plan on speaking about something today. I plan on speaking about Greenroad and what is Greenroad. Now, I know you've heard me ranting about this in the past. However, I've had to change the ideas on this. And yeah, so I thought I'd explain actually what it is. Because most of the drivers out there will know what it is. Just let me open this door because it's like a greenhouse from here. So most drivers will know what it is. But what it is, make it clear this is being filmed on the GoPro. There's a little green box up there, just under the call request. That's Greenroad there. Now the other part of that Greenroad is in the cupboard at the top of the stairs. I believe it's in that cupboard just up there with all the other electrics. Now, Greenroad is a device that monitors your driving. Like an airliner has a black box, the Greenroad is the bus's equivalent of the black box. That Greenroad knows everything about what the bus is doing, how the bus is being driven, and whom the bus is being driven by, as long as you sign into it. And within policy you should be signing in. So with that in mind, or looking at it as it's a black box, what does it actually record? Well, it pings the vehicle every so often if there's been no action. I think it's every few minutes it pings the vehicle, so you've got the vehicle's location. From that ping you'll also have the vehicle's speed in accordance to the GPS. It works it off. So it's your GPS speed. So it's a lot more accurate than a speedometer. It will then also ping back to the depot who's driving it, and little pieces of information like that. It's very warm out. So, as a driver, what does it mean to you? Well, it's grades your driving basically. Out of a score of, I can't remember what the score is, but it's a good idea to keep it under 20, which is where it becomes amber. So from 0 to 19, it's green. You have nothing to worry about. So how does it change? How does it give you events? Well, it monitors via, I believe it's little sensors in the box. A bit like, the best way to describe it is like a spirit level. So if you turn sharply, the bubble's going to go straight off to one side. So it can work out your velocity and stuff like that from it's a similar system, but it's a bit more high-tech system inside the box itself. So from that it can work that out. So with it being able to work out your speed, whether you're cornering, accelerating, braking, that means it can grade your driving. So, you know, you might get an amber event if you're turning a corner and you're accelerating, or you're braking into a turn and it's quite a harsh change. So an amber event is a medium risk manoeuvre that you've done with the vehicle. You know, whether that could be a very quick lane change to avoid something, or lane change because you're in the wrong lane, or going around a corner a bit quick. You know, that's could be considered a medium risk manoeuvre. Let me put this on this door because my hand's going to fall off. Yes, so that's a medium risk manoeuvre. Now you'll get red events which are high risk. So that could be dirt, that could be braking sharply to avoid an accident, or braking sharply to pull up at a set of traffic lights, cornering really hard, or accelerating really hard, or, you know, anything that would throw your passengers around quite badly. So this, when you get an event, it records everything about the vehicle. Where the vehicle was, what speed the vehicle was doing, what type of event it is that's occurred. Drivers can view this and the company can view this. So you can see it as a bit of a competition, because on the page you're graded out of all the other drivers. So if I can get this up on my phone, I can show you. So yeah, you're graded around all the other drivers. So the lower score you get, the higher up the list you go. So it is a bit of a competition. Now the company I'm with, we get a bonus for being able to keep it green. You know, and we get a bonus each month, every month that we can get at Christmas, depending on how many green months we have in there. So different companies reward it in different ways. If we get £5 something a month at Christmas for having a green month. Now you can have a green month and you can have a really bad day where you get loads of events, or you can, or you can have a few reds and you can still have a green month. It all depends how much driving you've done. So if we have a look here, I'm hoping you can see this, my score currently is 8, and I'm positioned 204 out of 397 possible drivers that are at my depot. So as you can see, safety categories, I'm green in everything at the moment. You can press them and you get the tips. You've got your idling rate, so 0%, I do no idling. That's another thing it monitors. It does monitor idling. After 2 minutes of idling, it will start counting the clock. After 5 minutes of idling, the bus will switch itself off. But that is to do with the vehicle itself and not the Greenroad. One where I fell up with this was in the hybrids, when the engine switches off and it goes into hybrid mode. If you forget it's in hybrid mode and you're sat in traffic jam or whatever, it will start counting idling. So yeah, but that's a minor niggle. You just got to remember to stop the engine yourself and actually turn your ignition off. So it aids in trying to help and save fuel. How does it do that? Well, it tries to make you drive, or it makes you drive, in a defensive manner. So you're looking out for issues way ahead before they've even happened. So you can react to them in plenty of time without sending your passengers from the back of the bus to the front of the bus. So that is, it can change how you drive. I know some drivers don't let it change, but for the sake of what it's worth, you might as well just, keep it green. You do develop faults, as does everything. However, if you report the fault, they're normally quite quick to fix the fault. Or if, say, it's giving out events for the fun of it, some do, because they've gone faulty. It could be the little accelerometer in it has gone faulty, something like that. So I've had one where it was fine as long as I was turning left. As soon as I turned right, I got red events. You report it, they remove the events for you, as long as they believe it's genuine. So all the faults, any faults that occur, you can report them and you can get it fixed. As a driver, you must remember to sign into it, otherwise it puts it on the previous driver, and then that creates paperwork for someone else, who then has to report that someone else has driven on their Greenroad profile and they've gone and got 14 events because they might care about it. Now, I know in the past I've ranted on about it, but it is a good system. I will actually give it its dues. It is a good system. It does work. Just checking the time. It does rely a lot on GPS and a lot on the accelerometers. However, it is calibrated, set up for the bus. This is one downside I would say to it, is depending where it's mounted in the vehicle depends on how it reacts. That's the only bugbear I have with it. However, once again, if you do believe it's too sensitive, you can report it and it'll be looked into. So there's the dues. because in a double deck vehicle like this, it's mounted a bit higher than it is in a single, so you know it does react differently. Every bus reacts differently. But like I say, if you think it's too sensitive, you can report it. If the display doesn't work, you can report that, and they'll fit a new display to it. It's all a modular system. It is a very good system. So as I say, it does make it so you have to drive more economically. You know, it does help with the fuel efficiency. And when you've got a 6.5 litre engine at the back, fuel efficiency is a big thing, because that thing back there will guzzle fuel like hell. Oh, 80 to 100 litres a day of it goes through. So think about that next time you're fueling up your little car and you're complaining about how much the fuel price is. Think about 80 to 100 litres in one of these. Yeah, I know, I've done it. It's I've put 100 litres in my bus, and yeah, it's expensive. Especially at certain garages. So the Greenroad makes it so we drive a lot smoother, which then helps the fuel consumption, helps the MPG. Not that. Well, they're quite economical, I suppose. 80 litres a day, it's quite economical. But driving smoother, allowing the engine to rev down itself, and you know, using the retarder to help, and using the engine brake, it helps the engine be more efficient. So, like in the instead of putting your foot down and pressing the brake, you've just used half a gallon of fuel, putting your foot down just to press the brake. So gentle, you know, be nice and smooth with it. Treat it like a lady. You know, love it. So that keeps the fuel efficiency down and makes it much more beneficial for the company. Also means that things like that, because it makes your drive be more economical and more safer, it looks good for the company, as well as saves the company a hell of a lot of fuel. And your passengers aren't complaining because they're not being thrown around, so it is good in that sense. Let's do a time check. Going on this video a bit. I was interrupted by a passenger at the end of that video. I'll just finish it off here now, later in the day. As I was saying, Greenroad, it is a good system that we use. It's up to you whether you drive to it or not. I'm sure companies will be not very happy if you don't want to drive to it, but different companies implement it in different ways. Be interesting to know how the other companies implement it, some other depots and places. That'd be interesting to know, because normally most companies do the award scheme for it. Yeah. If you notice it's faulty, report it. It'll get fixed and sort it out for you. So that's all I needed to say. There was something else, but I can't remember what it was. I really can't. I was in my swing before when I was talking to you. No, I can't remember what it is. So, all that remains is to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. There are more of these videos coming up, hopefully. And keep an eye out on Patreon. There is the new tier available now. I have published it. It is, so you're able to give to it. So you have the tier to these videos, which there isn't much point. No, there's not much overheads on these, it's just cameras and this and that. However, the other one, which is the B10 preservation, there is quite a few overheads on that. So that's landed, and we're just working at putting everything together for that. So see you next time.